Hi, my name is Jamie Whitaker. I believe we're in biblical end times, and I want to try and survive it. Not because I'm scared of death, or it's not about me. I'm not worried about what happens to me, but I'm hoping I can survive it so I can help people in the future. I believe there's a great opportunity coming with these end times that we can lead a lot of lost souls, a lot of people to Jesus. I think it's going to be the greatest opportunity the world's ever seen to lead a lot of people to God, to Jesus, and get them saved. And we can use this opportunity coming to share the good news and get as many people saved as possible. And for me, all this started about 7 years ago. I just knew there was something wasn't quite right in the world, and it seemed like it was going in the wrong direction, and it wasn't business as usual. It wasn't a typical thing. So I decided I didn't really know God, didn't really know Jesus. I kind of went to church and stuff like that, but I didn't really know the Bible or know if anything stuff was true or not. I saw with the way everything is going, I thought, I need to know once and for all what's going on and what the truth is, and so I decided to ask them directly. I thought, if they're real, God's real, Jesus is the truth, the Bible is the truth, that they should be able to prove it to me. So in private, I asked God, I asked Jesus directly. I was like, if you're the truth, that the Bible is your word, if you were the one speaking through these prophets, and it's the truth, I want you to prove it to me. I want to know, and I want to know what's going on in the world right now. If anyone has the guts to do this, to try this, I recommend you do it, and also be fair, because if you really mean it, if you really want to know and you're really sincere about it, they answer. I got answered. I was, it was a life-changing event. It's hard to describe, but it was like, also my eyes were opened. I realized I was blind. I was blind. There's all these things that were right in front of my face my whole life, but I never saw them. I never really put it together. I don't know how I didn't see them. It was really confusing. It was really confusing because it was always, all this stuff was always there, but I never saw it. Like, there's a verse in the Bible that talks about how I was blind and now I see, and that was exactly what happened to me. I couldn't see, but then all of a sudden my eyes get open, and I was like, I was like, how did I not see this stuff before? And the further it went, the more obvious it became, and the more I saw, and the more I just couldn't believe I didn't see any of this stuff, and also all this information that I never heard about or knew about or didn't know existed. All of a sudden, just mountains of information on so many subjects, a lot of diverse subjects. All this information started coming to me, and it all fit together, and most of it in some way proved Jesus to be the truth, and then eventually I got on my knees and I prayed, Jesus, I'm a sinner, I deserve judgment, and I went for it, and I was like, please forgive me, show me the truth, and I believe it, and just please continue to open my eyes and keep leading me the truth. I just wanted to know what was going on. The more information I got, the crazier things got, and eventually I came to realize that we are in end times. We're in biblical end times right now. The tribulation hasn't officially started yet, but we're right there. We're right at the birth pains before the tribulation is birthed, I guess you could say, and time's running out. I believe it's time, to get right with Jesus and to find out what's in the Bible. And before I did this, I had no idea that we were in end times. I had no idea there was anything really, like, before I started to know something was wrong. For most of my life, I didn't think anything of the Bible really, or relating to our time. And as far as revelations coming to pass in my life, that wasn't even a consideration or a possibility. I mean, so I was just living my life as business as usual, doing what I thought was fun and stuff like that, and I didn't really notice or care about any of this stuff. But once I started knowing something was wrong, I asked the Father and the Son directly if they're the truth. Thought they'd be able to prove it to me, and well, God proved it to me. He opened my eyes, and it's a good thing about God is He'll not only prove it to you, but He'll give you way more than you need. So you're sure. You're beyond sure, and that's what happened to me. I know that I know that I know that I know. It's beyond a shadow of doubt. I've accumulated so much information, and all this stuff fits together somehow. They say the big picture. You take all these different things, all these different areas of research and information, which one has nothing to do with the other, but somehow when you accumulate all this stuff, it connect the dots and the big picture comes into focus. And like before that, it becomes obvious and undeniable. Once the big picture, it's like there's no doubt. It's like, whoa, this is exactly what's going on, and this is the truth. And the Bible foretells all this stuff. And if you're willing to ask God and mean it, ask Jesus to show you the truth, I sincerely believe something will happen to you. Probably something very similar to me that happened to me. So I really highly recommend you guys, anyone that doesn't believe or is unsure about these things, that you do that. Because now it's more important than ever, especially what I'm about to get into. And so once I got into this, I started to learn as much as possible. I wanted to get prepared. Once I found out we're in end times, I wanted to learn as much information as I could. I could prepare, build a plan around what's going to happen. And I think we're at a point now where believers and non-believers, I think pretty much everyone out there in the world knows that there's something wrong, and it's not, it's not like history, like a war or this or that. There's something different this time. Everything's stacking up. You got extreme weather, weather's getting more extreme. You get crazy droughts in one state, and the state right beside it. You have floods, and same thing in Canada and in every country around the world. And you got billions of animals dying off. You got earthquakes in places where they typically never get earthquakes, and now you go from few earthquakes in 100 years, now they're getting thousands in just a few years, and volcanoes are erupting, and we're breaking records for the amount of extreme weather events and how big they are and how extreme they get, and get terrorism going off the handle, which a lot of that's just blowing up in the news to try and scare people, but it's government created, in my opinion, from what I found. But that's still something that's happening, and there is a lot of Christians that are dying because of it. And they're talking about a new world order, a one world government. And you go down the list, and there's all these things that are financial. Every country is in dire financial straits and close to collapse, in every country. All this stuff adds up, and the biggest thing is that all this stuff's in the Bible. All this stuff is foretold in the Bible from like 2,000 years ago. Jesus and the other prophets, the other disciples that were writing down, it's mainly Jesus that prophesied this stuff, but it was 2,000 years ago, and it's happened exactly like he said. Matthew 24, check it out. It's going down. When I found this stuff out, when I was reading Revelations, it talks about things we need to know, and that's the best thing about the Bible. It's mostly prophecy. The Bible is like a large percentage of the Bible is prophecy. It's future events. It's future history. It's things that will happen. The Bible, for the most part, has never been wrong. It's the only prophetic document that's never been wrong. And I mean, there is people like to argue certain things of it, but if you look into those things, you find out a lot of that stuff is not the truth, and the Bible is accurate in those, in the disputed areas as well. And in Revelations, it talks that there'll be things that we need to refuse, and there'll be like many strong illusions that come, and there'll be warning about false Christs and false prophets, and people will be coming in Christ's name saying I'm the Christ, but they won't be. They're false prophets. they're not who they say are, and about Jesus warns us not to believe them. I mean, when Jesus comes back, there'll be no doubt, there'll be no words spoken, there'll be no name tag on Jesus' chest. Everyone will know instantly. He will come back as God, not as the man that everyone knows him from the Bible. He'll be coming in, split in the sky. His all of the angels will show up with him. The stars will fall from the sky. The the heavens will roll up like a scroll. I mean, every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. It doesn't matter if you believe or you don't. Everyone will know, and there'll be no doubt, and no word, not a word will have to be spoken. So, if anyone other than that, they're a liar, then don't believe them. But the biggest thing to worry about is the reason for this video is it talks about the mark of the beast, and it tells us that we should avoid it at all costs. It's the most important thing in my opinion, and so I'm doing what I can to warn people through a channel on YouTube that I've created and I'm putting together, and to do what I can to warn people about this thing. Included on this on my channel is a video called The Mark, and it's a 47-minute long video. It's on the mark of the beast. After finding out we are in end times, I dropped everything and did a lot of research. Most of my research, I didn't even know YouTube was a thing. I thought it was just for like squirrel videos and cat videos. I didn't really even know about YouTube or any of this information was on YouTube. So a lot of my research came from books, the internet, and this and that. So I did a lot of research outside of YouTube. But once I found out about YouTube and a lot of this information was being put together by people that are taking books and all this information and putting into videos and putting all this information on YouTube, I was like, holy smokes. A lot of good information out there. There's a lot of bad too. You have to sift through it all. And there's a lot of bad stuff on YouTube that has nothing to do with Christianity and the Bible and that kind of stuff, but we're using it for good, so that's good. But anyways, once I got onto YouTube and was heavy research on the Mark the Beast, I watched every video I could find on it. And once I found out we're in end times, I dropped everything. I'm in construction, so I was able to not go to work for a long time. It was actually a couple of years. I basically shut down my social life and all this stuff's going on. It was top priority for me, so I wanted to know what was going on and to form a plan on what to avoid and how to get around all this stuff. So I watched every video I could find, like I said, and we're talking thousands, just on the mark of the beast. After watching all those videos and doing all that research, I can honestly say that this the mark, it's the best video I've ever seen. It's the best video on the mark of the beast that I've viewed, and I highly recommend it. So I'm hoping you can check it out, and there'll be a link to that video in the show notes below. As soon as I saw the mark, this video, I uploaded it that weekend. It was like a Thursday or something. I was blown away by the video. I was like, holy smokes, never seen anything like this. It shows a real way to survive without the system, which this mark of the beast, the Bible tells us, no man will buy or sell. You won't be able to do anything without this mark. You got to be able to find some way to support yourself or live outside of the system, which at all the videos I've seen, there was really no one showing you how to do that, and it does in this video. So I uploaded that weekend. I tried to draw as many people to this video as I could, so I added, must-see video in cap locks. I put it, don't take the mark, so must-see video, don't take the mark, and I was trying to, I guess you say, clickbait, and I was just trying to do whatever I can to get people to see this video because I found it really important. I just pray that he can help me, help provide me or help me acquire the things I need to be able to help my family and friends and as many people out there as possible in the end when things get bad. And I'm hoping if you can provide people like food and water and shelter and things they need when things get bad, which I think they're going to get bad. that they'll be a lot more open to listening to the gospel of Jesus, the good news, and wanting to hear what's in the Bible, because a lot of people will be looking for answers. They won't really understand why things are happening the way they are. And so I believe when you can feed them and give them water and give them things they need, that they'll be a lot more open, and your chances you can get these people saved at that point will be a lot higher. For myself, I decided to close the comments because I found for the material I upload and the things I deal with that brings a lot of like paid disinformants, and a lot of people just want to argue, and we're so kind of brainwashed and programmed with the educational system and all the different the media and all these different things that people they're believing lies. It wasn't easy for me to wake up. A lot of it was really shocking. And you're basically, once you find out the truth and you find a lot of stuff you believe is a lie, you're basically ripping the foundation from out from under you. And you're basically, your house is now adrift in the water, and that's what they call Jesus a rock. It's these the best place to lay your foundations for your life, for you, your house, essentially, to build on. So once you wake up, that's where you want to lay your foundation and start building from there. To go back to the comments, even the Christian, there's a lot of lies and programming that goes on even in the church, and so there's a lot of Christian infighting about whatever, and it gets pretty nasty, and the trolls, which I don't even like calling them that or saying that word, but I just found it, it wasn't helping anyone personally. And I don't deal with all those negative comments. I didn't really like reading them and dealing with them. It was really bringing me down, and so I decided to disable the comments. So then there's the matter of not wanting people to know who I am. I've never shown my face or used my voice on a YouTube video before, and I wanted my channel to be about the information that I've acquired and found, and it proves Jesus, the Bible, end times, and a whole bunch of other stuff, and not me. So I didn't want it to be about me. So I didn't do the groundbreaking work on all this information. I was other people that did it, so I didn't really think it was a good idea for me to be saying this stuff like I found it, like which I didn't, right? So I was just trying to help make this information available, giving a recommendation. People want to see who's giving the recommendation. They want to hear them, and since this is not really about me in this video, it's about the video, the mark, and it's about the recommendation. And I decided maybe this is a good opportunity, or it's good for the right reasons to make this video. So I decided to just speak on it and do a video on it. So maybe this will lead to me doing more of these videos. I'm not really sure. We'll find out. But I think market beast is top priority. I mean, it's the Bible warns once you take the mark, it's a one-way ticket to the lake of fire. I mean, your only hope is Jesus. Forget it with the mark. Our only hope is Jesus. But if you take the mark, Jesus can't help you. You're screwed. Basically, Jesus has to turn his back on you because for a whole bunch of reasons. The main one is we no longer will be human, and we no longer will be in control. I mean, this mark of the beast, which I believe to be RFID, I'm sure there'll be a future version that's much more sinister and much more higher technology and all this stuff, but I found a ton of information to prove that this version is more than good enough to do it. If you're interested in more information on that, I got a bunch of videos on my channel showing all the things that I found, and we need to avoid this at all costs. So I'm trying to do whatever I can to get the word out and to show why I believe it's the mark and how it fits all the prophecies, which does perfectly. I hope that you guys watch the mark and do some serious research on the RFID and see if it matches up like I did. Figure out what you think is the truth there. So that I believe is the utmost importance. I don't think there's anything more important. For Jesus, getting saved is number one priority, but for me, I believe it to be second priority. And I know that doesn't sound very good, but I mean, if you take the mark, you can't be saved. So if we can get people to avoid the mark first, which I believe the RFID, and I believe there's more marks. Anything changes your DNA significantly, I believe is a mark, but I believe the main mark of the beast is the RFID. So if we can get people to avoid these marks of the beast and stay human, then you can still be saved. So I believe, avoid the marks first and try and get them saved after that. So I hope people check this out. They really do some serious research on it and try and find out what the truth is. Because, like I said, I believe Mark of the Beast is the most important prophecy, the most important thing in the Bible. So hope you guys check that out. I just want to thank you for your time, for listening to me. I just want to wish everyone good luck in the future, and God bless.